Ranking the 8 remaining quarterbacks left in the NFL playoffs. We are here with Rich Eisen. This will be a fun little video, a fun little experiment. So we are going to go 8 all the way to 1 with the remaining quarterbacks. Now, I think the top end of this is relatively simple. It's number 1 is set in stone, I think. But I can understand where there would be some parity in the middle there of where you're going to rank these players. So make sure you go down in the comments below, rank them so I can see how different everyone's list is. I'll be replying, reacting, reviewing, doing all what I do down in the comments below. So make sure to do that. Now, parameters, word of the day. We aren't judging them how they are playing just right now. We are blending how they're playing right now versus or with how they've been in their career. Okay, the highs and the lows. You know, some people have been traditionally more turnover prone in their career, some haven't. So we're going to weight all that, okay? Let's get right into it. Number 8, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, for me, I like Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield is criminally underrated and has been his entire career. Now, you're about to say, I don't think so. I'm about to blow your mind with a quarterback comparison. This right here, first of all, Rich, don't look at me like that. This quarterback comparison, I'm telling you right now, this might be the greatest quarterback comparison in human history, okay? Stick with me, and I want your answer, and I want you to be honest, okay? So let's go ahead and pull it up, shall we? Here it is. I've done this ahead of time so I can make sure I had the numbers right and you could see it and I wouldn't have to read 40 different numbers. Quarterback 1, 46 games, 62% completion, 11,000 yards, 75 touchdowns, 43 interceptions, 57 QBR, 89 rating, 23-22 record, 437 rushing yards, and 4 touchdowns. Quarterback 2, 50 games, so a little more games, 64% completion, a little bit better, 11,770, but again, he played 4 more games, so he, you know, it is what it is, but better. 58 touchdowns, less touchdowns by far. Interceptions, 39, about the same. QBR, 50, worst QBR. Rating, 85, worst rating. Record, 20 and 30, much worse record. 964 on the ground and 11 touchdowns, so a little bit better of a runner. Who do you think those quarterbacks are? Who do you think they are? All right, you do what you got to do. Pause the video, whatever, give it a think. Quarterback 1 or quarterback 2? Which of those quarterbacks do you want? Which of those quarterbacks do you want to sign? Who do you think is better of those 2 quarterbacks? If you're building a franchise and you want a franchise quarterback, which one of those 2 do you want to sign to a long-term deal? Now, on one hand, you could look at quarterback 1 and say, well, he's got a better record. He throws for way more touchdowns. Everything else is relatively similar. A little bit less of a runner, but I'm getting way more through the air. You could look at number 2 and be like, well, he is a better rusher. You know, I guess he's safe with the football. I'm not sure why the touchdowns are so down, but the touchdown interception ratio is way off, is way worse than number 2. Here they are. I'll go ahead and give it to you. I'll give you the answer. Quarterback 1 is Baker Mayfield's first 3 years in Cleveland. Quarterback 2 is Trevor Lawrence's first 3 years in Jacksonville. This is shocking to me because if you think about it, what's the narrative behind Trevor Lawrence? The narrative behind Trevor Lawrence is he's a franchise quarterback. He's got Jacksonville ready to win a Super Bowl. He's ready to rock and roll, right? Everyone thinks he's really good. Everyone thinks he's elite. People think people would say Trevor Lawrence is a top 10 quarterback. Certainly before the season. Before the season, I guarantee you, Trevor Lawrence was like number 6, number 7, somewhere in there, if you went and looked at like Sports Illustrated or whoever. And then you're going to say, well, what about Urban Meyer? He had Urban Meyer. Baker Mayfield. You know who his coach was his rookie year? Freddie Kitchens. And then Kitchens got fired, and it was Greg Williams, old defensive coordinator for the Saints, famous for Bounty Gate. Now, regardless of what you think, because, I would say 1 and 2 here are pretty much the same. I'd say 1 is better, but they're around the same. QB1 got traded for a 5th round pick. at the end of this. This performance right there got QB1, and that doesn't even factor in, like, you know, winning a season in the last 20-something years, playoff win. It doesn't even factor any of that stuff. Quarterback 1 after this got traded for a 5th-round draft pick. What do you think Trevor Lawrence would get traded for right now? I can go ahead and tell you it wouldn't be a 5th-round draft pick. And quarterback 2 is going to sign a $250 million deal. This performance right there, equal or lesser to Baker Mayfield, is going to get Trevor Lawrence a $250 million franchise deal to be their franchise quarterback. Now, you may be asking yourself, why? Like that is kind of crazy. When you really look at it, it is kind of crazy the difference in how everyone perceives Baker Mayfield and Trevor Lawrence. And it is crazy to see how Cleveland reacted to Baker and how Trevor is going to get reacted to with his contract. The reason, I think, is because Trevor is the prototypical size of a quarterback. He's like, whatever he is, 6'5", you know, he looks like a franchise quarterback. Baker is different. Baker is a different player. He's a different kind of guy. He's smaller. He kind of has that Kyler Murray body where he's smaller, but he's stocky. He's super athletic. Physically, Baker can do everything. Baker, he doesn't have Josh Allen's arm, but physically, Baker can make the throws. Johnny Manziel, you know, people say Baker is what we thought Johnny Manziel could be. Very true. Baker physically is better in the NFL than Johnny was. You know, Baker can make the throws. Baker built a little better. So, you know, but this is a good example right here of just how underrated Baker Mayfield has been his entire career. And I think he's still underrated. Now, the reason I have him 8 is because I think if he is asked to win the game or if he's asked to run around and be a hero, he can turn it over. I think physically, you know, that there are limitations to Baker. I think he has the shortest ceiling out of all of these players, and the coaching. You know, the fact that he's got Todd Bowles as a head coach, he's got a new offensive coordinator. You know, just exactly how much leg does the Tampa Bay offense have? So I think Baker's 8, but I do like Baker Mayfield. I've always liked Baker, and I'm glad he's getting a chance here. Number 7. Oh, another Baker Mayfield fact. 2 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL have had a perfect passer rating at a game at Lambeau Field. 1 is Aaron Rodgers. 2 is Baker Mayfield. It's another fun fact for you. All right, number 7. Oh, let's let Rich go, I guess.
Rank the 8 QBs.
Oh, are you really going to do this to me?
Oh, that was a question that was coming from one of us, for
All right.
sure.
Where would I rank him right now?
Want
to do it?
How dare you?
You're referencing the clip where Amy has Brock Purdy 8th.
8th. She says there's 7 terrific quarterbacks, and then there's Brock Purdy. Because she feels that he's a product of I shouldn't ever put words in her mouth, but what she said on What the Football,
right.
I'm paraphrasing, a product of the group around him.
Sure, she's not alone in thinking that.
Correct.
But so where Rich Eisen has
All right.
QBs 1 through 8.
Okay. Like
Music?
no,
right,
no
right
music.
now.
How dare you?
Come on, Rich.
All right, I'll go. I'm just going to go right now.
202 Eastern.
One.
Okay, he's going 1 to 8. Okay, 1 is Mahomes. 1, I think, is definitely Mahomes. It has to be Mahomes. He's the best quarterback. He's the best player. As long as he is playing, he's like Tom Brady. He will be number 1. You know, as long as he's right there, as long as he's doing his thing, he'll be number 1. And I don't think you could argue against that. I think he's got to be number 1. He's basically the only reason the Chiefs are viable right now.
1 is Lamar.
Okay. Now, if Rich is going strictly by how they're playing right now, okay, because Lamar's going to be the MVP. This is nuts. I mean, I love Lamar. I have so many videos on this channel saying Lamar should have got paid. Lamar's a good passer. Lamar should be the MVP, all this other stuff. Lamar isn't Patrick Mahomes. All right? He's not. If you're playing one game, if you're going to the Super Bowl and we're drafting quarterbacks and you're the first pick, are you going into that Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson or are you taking Patrick Mahomes? brother, you're taking Patrick Mahomes. Don't lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. Don't look me in the face and lie to me. Okay. I'm going to keep my list as is. Rich is out. A little bit of a voice crack there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what happens when you do 3.5 hour Mickey Loomis reaction video like we did this week. My voice is shot. Okay. Anyone else would have taken 2 weeks off. Me? 2 videos today. You kidding me? All right. Patrick Mahomes is 1 for me. Shocked Lamar is 1 here, but he's obviously going by recent form, which, whatever.
He's the MVP of the league.
Yeah,
2
but
excuse me.
Playoff success.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. 2.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going by playoff success, past success, Patrick Mahomes has won MVPs, 1 Super Bowls, 1 Super Bowl MVPs, done all that stuff. So Lamar has not. Lamar has virtually 0 playoff success. Virtually 0 success outside the regular season. So,
Who is Josh?
All right, 2 for me is Lamar. Man, this is nuts that Rich is putting Mahomes as low as 3. So 2 for me is Lamar because I think Lamar is the MVP. I think Lamar is really, really good. I think he's been really, really good his whole career. He just doesn't have playoff success. And it is a bit of a for me when people say that, because it's like, well, you can only say that for so long, because if you're on this side, let's say the Ravens win the Super Bowl. If you're like, I think Lamar is the 3rd best quarterback because he's never had success in the playoffs. I don't think Lamar is very good because he's never had success in the playoffs. Then if he wins the Super Bowl next year, you're going to be like, yeah, Lamar's number 1. He's the best. I think that's way too results driven to swing like that. So I think Lamar is really good, but I definitely think there is a problem where he's not winning in the playoffs. So I have him 2. 90% of it is what he's done in his career. The other, and what he can do on the field. The 10%, I'm assuming at some point he's going to get over the hurdle and win some playoff games.
Oh, interesting.
3 is Patrick.
Oh, that's hot.
Okay, so 3 for me is Josh Allen. So we have those 3 are the same, but we just have them out of order. So Josh Allen's good. The problem with Josh Allen is he can be a little too much Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? He can be a little too much Sandlot style football, run around, make something happen, turn the ball over, bad forced interceptions, bad fumbles. He can kind of get away from himself. I was reading an article, and the article was saying that Josh Allen, the problem with Josh Allen is that he plays every single game like it was the Chiefs game, the infamous Chiefs game where they are in Arrowhead. There's like 16 seconds left. They end up losing the game. Chiefs go to the Super Bowl. That one. Ever since then, people kind of think Josh Allen is a little bit broken. And it does kind of look like that. Ever since I read that, I was like, man, he does kind of play like that. You can kind of tell that he gets outside of the system quickly, and he just starts either running or trying to play this hero ball, and he will throw bad picks. I've seen in the last couple of weeks, he'll throw bad picks, he'll have fumbles, he'll do all that stuff. He kind of looks like his hair is on fire. That's just who he is. With that being said, incredibly talented. With that being said, skill set unbelievable. Can run you over, can run all over the place, has the strongest arm in the playoffs, maybe even in the NFL. And I like what Joe Brady has him doing. Joe Brady has him back to more designed runs, which I think Josh Allen's very dangerous with. They need to go ahead and quit trying to do the tush push. They can't do it. They need to figure something else out. But I have Allen at 3.
Oh, man,
Why is that hot?
Oh, Rich.
Well, one guy has 2 rings among all these people.
But dude, I'm not putting him in the Hall of Fame right now. I'm putting them on the field this weekend.
Right now. So it's like for this
I'm putting them on the field this weekend,
Okay.
Chris.
Yeah, so Rich is going by just current form.
Okay.
So now I need to now write the other ones down since I'm now ranking them.
Lamar Jackson hasn't played in 3 weeks.
Excuse me. You keep saying that, and then you're also like, I told you he was going to be the MVP. Like, which one is it, Chris?
Both.
Is he going to lose or is he going to win?
Literally both. He hasn't played in 3 weeks, and I told you he was going to be an MVP finalist.
Got it. You know football better than everybody.
Maybe
Not me.
Nice.
Not better than me. All right.
So Baker, Goff.
Don't ever say that again.
Love, Stroud, and my other boy.
Oh, yeah.
Brock. All right. So then I'm going to put, after Lamar, Josh, Patrick, I will put Stroud.
All right, 4 for me is Goff. I like Jared Goff a lot. I think Goff it's kind of crazy because he is physically very talented. I mean, he can spin the pill. Throws a beautiful ball, throws a good deep ball. He's good. The problem with Jared Goff is he's got to be in the perfect system. He likes to play in good weather. He likes to play with the lead. He likes to play off play action. He likes to establish the run. If he can do all that, hard to beat him. Problem is, you can't always do that. So if Goff gets behind or if Goff has to go play in the snow or whatever, but this week, Jared Goff doesn't have to play in the snow. So Jared Goff, I think, will be fine this week. I think Jared Goff is good, and he's another guy who's criminally underrated. Very recently, we've had people talking about, like, maybe Jared Goff, is he kind of a bust? There's nothing bust about Jared Goff, right? He's had a great career, went to the Super Bowl, did well with the Rams. Obviously, goes to Detroit, does well with Detroit, revitalizes that franchise. I think he's the perfect quarterback for Detroit because Detroit is kind of a phoenix from the ashes kind of story, and Jared Goff is a phoenix from the ashes. He is my number 4.
Okay.
I like that.
He's been playing his head off.
So is it as they're playing right now, or just
That's what it's about, isn't it? It's win or go home time, isn't it?
So it's how they're playing right now.
Who are they? How
Well,
have they
Lamar
been playing?
should be 8th. He
Obviously,
hasn't played in 3 weeks.
obviously, it's how they've been playing all season long, and then it's a mix of things. I don't need to tell you my process.
Well, you
Trust
really
the
heckled me
process.
yesterday, so I'm just kind of giving it back.
It can't be a mix. It can't be a mix of things if Patrick Mahomes isn't number 1. Because if you're mixing any kind of past success, Patrick Mahomes has to be number 1.
It's the process.
Oh, wow.
That's tough.
Okay.
It's good, right? It's tough.
No, I know that.
It's tough.
I know that. But Amy didn't have to rank them.
No.
She just said there's 7
kinda took it
terrific
to the
ones,
next
and then
level.
there's Purdy.
I kind of took
It's
it to the
hard to
next
rank.
level.
All right.
It's hard.
I mean, there's 3.
So I went Lamar, Josh,
outstanding
Patrick,
ones.
and Stroud. Then I will go in terms of hot quarterbacks right now. I will go Love.
All right, 5 for me is Stroud. So I like CJ Stroud a lot. I think Stroud is the man. I think Stroud is, I think you can look at him and say physically he can do what he needs to. Like, does he have the strongest arm in the world? No. Is he the fastest? No. Does he run around that much? No. But the package that he presents on the field as the quarterback is good. He can survive in this league. He can play well in this league. He is throwing the ball all over the place. I have him 5 because I think so obviously the last one's left here. Y'all know Mayfield is 8th, but I have Stroud at 5, Purdy at 6, and 7 is Love. I think Stroud out of Purdy, Love, and Stroud is the one where if I need a 2-minute drill, if I'm down 7, if I'm down 10 points, and I need one of these guys to go win the game, get me back in the game, I trust Stroud to do it over Purdy and Love. I don't trust them the level I trust Stroud. CJ Stroud's awesome. Like him a lot. So I have him at 5.
I will then go. I'm going to go Brock Purdy.
All right, so I have Purdy at 6. So Purdy is my 6th. And I had him originally at 5, and then for the reasons I put Stroud there is why I docked Purdy. I don't really trust Purdy if it's got to be a 2-minute drill or it's got to be, hey, I'm down 14, go win me the game, throw me back into the game. I don't think he can do that. I think he has to, same with Goff, where he kind of has to be in the perfect situation where the Niners have to be winning. He's got to be able to run the system. He's got to be able to establish the run. He's got to be able to get the ball to the playmakers, and then they get yak. But if he's just dropping back and trying to win the game, trying to push, try and drag the offense, I'm not sure if he can do that. And like I said, similar to Goff, but I think Goff physically is better equipped to do that. Thus, I have him higher. I don't think Brock is special arm-wise. I don't think he's a special arm talent or any of that. We'll see what happens with Brock Purdy. And I also had to factor in that for 90% of this season, he was the MVP before Christmas Day. Before Christmas, if the Niners win that game, Brock Purdy is your MVP. So I have to give him a tip of the cap there, which lands him at 6.
And then I'll go Goff, and then I'll go my guy Baker.
Goff at 7 is super low, but obviously 7, I have Jordan Love. Jordan Love is interesting because at certain parts of this year, I thought Jordan Love was absolute cheeks, complete garbo, just scrub, absolute scrub daddy, okay? Scrub mama, okay? If you want the whole set. This isn't an endorsement. I've used the scrub daddy and I've used the scrub mama. They're awesome, okay? You think they're just scrubs? They're not. Okay, you think they're just a sponge? You think they're just a little scraper, a little scrubber? I just met her. You know what I'm saying? That's not the case. They're sweet. If you don't have a scrub daddy or a scrub mama, go get one. Again, not an endorsement, not an ad. I'm not sponsored. These videos aren't sponsored. I'm not here taking paychecks. I'm not doing none of that. Okay, they're sponsored by the viewers, the engagement, the likes, the comments. They're sponsored by me. Okay, the face of the franchise. Jordan Love had some rocky moments to start the season. Something clicked. All of a sudden, Jordan Love's sweet. So I've got about 3/4 of the season, he pretty meh. The rest of it, pretty sweet. Physically, I like what he's got going on. Physically, I like his arm strength and all of that. He still kind of throws. It kind of throws kind of weird. Kind of has that Cam Newton vibe to him, where he's kind of throwing a little diffy. Kind of looks funny when you see it. But I like it. And obviously he's fitting in a good system. I think same thing with Love, or same thing I was saying with Mayfield and Goff, where if you get to Love, if you rattle Love, if you hit Love, all that, he's going to throw picks. He's just not experienced enough. He's not there yet. He could certainly be there. I'll tell you this right now. I would rather have, if you told me I could have Trevor Lawrence for the rest of whatever, CJ Stroud or Jordan Love, I'm probably taking Stroud and Love over Trevor Lawrence. That's a little hot take for you there.
If I had to rank them. Right now. But I even told this to Amy when we had a conversation yesterday about, hey, guess what, Amy? She's the one who told me her Twitter feed is blowing up.
I'm just glad it's not me. That's the ire of Niner fans.
Well, for a change.
For a change.
Well, I mean, you were on the Steeler hot seat after I was on the Steeler hot seat, but that's what happens. I mean, Amy is just giving her opinion, which, by the way, is expert.
Purdy's the same thing as Baker. Same thing. If Purdy was 6'6", 230 pounds, people would think he's a franchise quarterback. People would think he's great. Purdy is not. Purdy has a baby face. Purdy is small. Purdy, he's unassuming. Thus, people think he's a product of the system. Same thing with Baker. That's just how it is. You gotta. I was listening to a sports podcast, and they were talking about Baker, and they're like, this guy's a journeyman. He's never really done anything. He's never succeeded. And I'm thinking in my head, he succeeded just as much, if not more, than some of the people that we're calling elite. Why do y'all think Justin Herbert gets so much praise? Because he's got a rocket arm, he's 6'5", and he looks like a quarterback. That's it. He's got long hair. That's the whole thing. Why is Brock Purdy? If Justin Herbert was on the Niners and doing exactly what Brock Purdy was doing, exact same thing, they would be comparing him to Joe Montana. They'd be comparing him to Steve Young. Could be the exact same thing. He just looks the part. That's why I always say, guys, that you got to go past the media narratives. You got to go past all that. You got to really watch. You got to watch the games, watch the tape, look at the stats, do a deep dive, look at everything.
That's her.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear what's going on out here? Every video. So, my apologies, guys. We got a monster truck rally or something going on. There might be tanks going down Canal Street right now. I'm trying to do a video. The face of the franchise, the fastest rising channel in sports media. We're trying to do a video, okay? We pumped the brakes on the monster truck. Sorry about that, guys.
Opinion.
Yeah.
I would push back that Purdy's as special as everyone else. But you just asked me to rank them.
Yeah, rank them. Yeah, because you love
Lamar
rankings.
1, Josh 2, Mahomes 3, Stroud and Love, Brock, Goff, Baker.
My official top 8. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield. That's my 1 through 8 ranked. Rich, Jesus Christ, get a glass of water. What are your top 8?
And they're all terrific. And they're all, I think, at different levels of heat. Baker just had 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Listen, he's awesome. He's played well. But if I had to right now say who's going to be who's starting my game for me,
all right,
that's where I would go right now.
4 minutes to go, down 6.
Oh, stop.
One drive to win. Who do you got?
Of course,
Patrick Mahomes.
it's Mahomes. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Of course.
Of course it's Mahomes.
Interesting.
Dude, who's done it more than anybody? Who shows that he can do everything like
Rich is kind of simultaneously answering 2 questions. Like in his mind, he's answered it. Who had the best season? Which isn't the question. So when he says Lamar, he's like, yeah, of course Lamar's had the best season, but yes, of course Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback. Everyone else is asking him who are the best quarterbacks. So it like how we started talking about it's a blend. That's how the question is supposed to be, and that's what they're trying to get Rich to meet in the middle on.
anyone else can't. Come on. Of course it's Patrick Mahomes. Getting ready to play the role of road playoff villain? Yeah, man. I would do that.
So you're picking the Chiefs.
I'm not picking.
I'm picking the Bills. I tweeted that earlier. I already have a heavy ticket on the Bills. I'll be adding more. I've been tweeting out the plays. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a professional sports gambler, okay? But if you want to see what I'm riding with, if you want to see, what the plays are, what we're sweating out, go follow me on Twitter. That's a great way to see all the plays and all the hot thoughts in real time, in 140 characters or somewhere around there, whatever it is now.
The Chiefs. You're like 4 minutes to go. If it's 4 minutes to go, yes, if it's 4 minutes to go and he can win the game for Kansas City, if Kansas City's in that spot and they don't leave any time left for the Bills and they can win the game, I will take the Chiefs. Yes, if that is the situation.
Who do you got with 13 seconds to go down?
Nice.
In a tie game?
Way to troll. But I would take Allen in that situation too. I don't think it's any hot take to say that.
Yeah, I would take Allen too. I mean, I think it's a totally different situation. But if you're down, if it's a last drive, if you're down, I think you want a quarterback who can do both. You want a quarterback who can throw you across first downs and down the field. But you also want a quarterback who can run if he has to. Because a lot of the times plays will break down, and the ability to run. Patrick Mahomes doesn't get enough credit for being a mobile quarterback and being able to run. But Josh Allen's ability to run, and you also want someone who can throw deep passes, because if you get in a situation where it's a 2-minute drill or you're down 6 last drive of the game and it's 3rd and 16, if you have someone like Brock Purdy, you're thinking he's going to have to complete like an 11-yard pass, and then we're going to have to get some serious yak here. We're going to have to make something happen. If it's 3rd and 16 and you have Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, you're thinking we can get 19 yards, no problem. A 19-yard pass for either of those guys is basically a slant route, right? So that skill set's also different. Lamar, same with Lamar. Lamar is very dangerous in those situations because he can just take off. He can just run. He can just extend plays. If you can have everyone covered up, well, bad news. You got Lamar Jackson back there. So, I would definitely want, if we were ranking it that way, well, my ranking would probably still be the same because I kind of did that anyways. But I would definitely have, Mahomes, Lamar, Allen above everyone else, far above everyone else because of their physical skill set.
This game could
in a 2-minute drill is what I'm talking about.
Come down to who has the ball last. It's been proven.
Yeah,
to the point where they changed the overtime. They
yeah.
changed the overtime rules based on who had the ball last the last time these two teams played in the playoffs.
Overreaction.
But Lamar has got to be number one. He's the MVP. He's been terrific. He lit into the 49ers.
He's got to be number one if you completely eliminate what they've done Y'all hear these sirens, ladies and gentlemen? I live in Gotham City. I mean, I apologize. Okay, I think we're good.
Come on now. And Josh he's been off the charts. But so is Stroud. And that's what I would rank them based on their seasons and the way they're currently playing right now.
So yeah, he's basically taking out the past at all. He's saying he's the whole season and then current form. Those are the two things he's blending. He's not blending in past success. Hey, everyone has their system. Ladies and gentlemen, fun video. I enjoyed it. I hope y'all did as well. Hey, enjoy the playoffs. Come on. We got playoff football this weekend. This video is going to be released Saturday morning. Just made the call. Just told my producers, aka me. Saturday morning we'll release this one. Yeah, Saturday morning? Yes, let's do it. Saturday morning, early. I want to give y'all plenty of time to watch this into the games early. 10 a.m., 11 a.m.? I don't know why I'm talking about this, because by the time it's released, it'll be released. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.